All right, welcome to WtT, the show where we slice right through the marketing nonsense. Today, we are tearing down the Robotaxi hype machine. Let's do it.
So, this is the story they're selling you, right? This shiny, inevitable future where robotaxis are just everywhere. It's a great line, I'll give them that. It's designed to make you feel like you're already living in tomorrow. And this is how they do it. This is the hype machine in action. It just churns out this constant flood of announcements, right? Press releases, expansion plans. It's all meant to make you feel this unstoppable momentum. The message is simple. Get with the program because this train is leaving the station.
Okay, so take a look at this. This map is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. You see all these dots spreading across the US, and what's your first thought? It's, wow, okay, they're really taking over. And that's exactly what they want you to think. This map is a visual sales pitch for inevitability. But let's actually look a little closer. Right, a little reality check. Because once you actually get past the big flashy headlines and dig into the details, well, the picture changes a lot. The reality is way, way smaller and a whole lot less revolutionary than that map wants you to think. So what's the real number? The number of cities where you can actually get a ride in a fully driverless car. It's this. 5. That's it. Not this massive nationwide takeover, just 5 cities. San Francisco, LA, Phoenix, Atlanta, and Austin. That's the whole list. And this just lays it all out, doesn't it? The gap between the hype and the reality. The hype says spreading everywhere. The reality? They're in these tiny, hand-picked bubbles inside those cities. You know, certain neighborhoods, certain times of day. The hype says come in 2026. You know what that really is? It's a marketing roadmap. It's a goal, not a guarantee. And this inevitable expansion? It's a pilot program, a test. Just one with a really, really good PR team. Okay, but let's talk about what's being left out of this picture entirely. Because this whole driverless fantasy, it's not free. It comes with a cost, a human cost, and you almost never hear about it in these articles. So how do they get you comfortable with the tech, with stuff like this? A personal story. It sounds totally reasonable, right? Relatable. It's meant to soothe that little part of your brain that's screaming, wait a minute, is this actually safe? But here's the bottom line. A feeling is not data. It's just not. And using a personal anecdote to make a point about systemic safety, that's a classic move. It's how you take a legitimate public concern, a fear, and you just kind of smooth it over until people are complacent, all without showing a single shred of actual evidence. Look, if you want to have a real discussion about safety, this is what you need. You need actual crash rate comparisons. You need hard data on how these things fail when something weird happens, the edge cases. You've got to talk about what the system can't do, its limitations. And you absolutely have to talk about the serious crashes and the regulators breathing down their necks. Anyone can talk about their vibe. Data is what matters. But you know what? There's something even bigger missing here. A giant elephant in the room that somehow the article just completely walks around. Let's just be brutally honest for a second. What is a robotaxi? It's not just a cool gadget. Its entire reason for existing, its whole business model, is to get rid of one thing, the human driver, to remove that person from the payroll. That's the whole game. And when you talk about removing drivers, you're not talking about a small number. We're talking about millions of jobs. All these people, taxi drivers, Uber and Lyft drivers, delivery drivers, this technology is aimed right at their livelihoods. And yet, you go back to that original piece, not one word, not a single sentence about the massive social upheaval of wiping out an entire job category. It's just sold as progress, not what it is, a massive, deliberate shakeup of our economy. Look, this is what we're all about here at WtT. We cut through the marketing spin to get to what's really going on. If that's the kind of breakdown you're looking for, then do us a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It genuinely helps us keep digging. All right, so let's zoom out, because this is about so much more than just a new kind of car. This isn't some revolution bubbling up from the streets, no way. This is a calculated, top-down power play by massive corporations. And this is the playbook. This is the endgame. Step 1, you grab control of the key spots, like airports. While you're there, step 2, you're sucking up unbelievable amounts of data on how everyone moves around the city. Step 3, you use that data as leverage to get what you want from the city. Special treatment, dedicated lanes, whatever. And the final step, you lock users into your system, your ecosystem.
This was never just about a better taxi. It's about corporations taking over public transportation.
So who actually wins in this future? Well, the tech shows up first in the wealthy, dense parts of town, right? The business districts, the corridors to the airport. And who gets left behind? Well, no surprise there, it's the same people as always. Poor neighborhoods, places that desperately need better public transit. This isn't solving inequality. It's building a brand new, exclusive service right on top of it. So, next time you read one of these glowing articles about the glorious robotaxi future, I want you to be ready. We're going to arm you with the real questions, the ones that these reporters should have been asking. Question number 1, and it's the most important. Who loses their job because of this? And what is the actual concrete plan for these people? And I don't mean some fluffy corporate PR about reskilling. What's the real plan?
Next up, accountability. When one of these things crashes, and they will, who's on the hook? The company that wrote the code? The car manufacturer? The fleet owner? When there's no driver to blame, where does the buck stop?
And this one is huge. Is this the kind of city you want to live in? One where our public streets, how we move around, are all controlled by fleets owned by, what, Alphabet? Amazon? Companies that answer to their quarterly earnings report, not to the people who actually live there. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. Why? Why are we pouring billions of dollars and some of the smartest minds on the planet into this instead of building amazing public transit that's frequent, affordable, and works for everybody? When you strip all the hype away, that's what this is. It's a bet. A bet that we're willing to trade millions of jobs and public control of our streets for a future run by a handful of tech giants. The real question is that a bet we really want to make?